So now that we've played with what a yes and a no is from your intuition, we're going to look at asking for guidance. This is where you ask questions to your higher self, to the universe, to be led. This really is a practice of getting out of your own way, of putting the mind, the ego, the personality aside, surrendering to the unknown, and being willing to receive information or guidance from your higher self and the universe. Personally, I find this so relaxing that I don't have to figure it out with my head. And to be honest, anytime I try to figure out life with my head, it never goes well. And I've learned this the hard way a few times, which is why I always listen to my intuition now, even if my ego personality self is unhappy about it. So this is the practice of stopping, clearing the mind, clearing all those energies, tapping in, and now asking for guidance, asking to be shown or led, or asking for information. So I do this most days, where I ask to be led or guided to the next step. Now, if this is new for you, you might want to ask questions that have a yes and no answer to make it more simple for you. But what you may develop over time is a more nuanced way to tap into your intuition. So now, for example, I have whole dialogues and conversations with my higher self, with the universe, where I get told and shown through a combination of feeling, words, pictures, just inner knowings about what the next step is. So every day I tune in and ask questions about my life, about my business, about my relationships, about parenting, about my role on the earth, and ask to be shown and given information. And it is a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy it. It's like having a really deep and meaningful conversation. And it's always fascinating because what I've noticed is that the mind and the ego just love to jump in and take over. Mine does still every day. So suddenly I'll get this idea and I'll think, yes, I'm going to do that. Or isn't this a great idea? And then I'll go, okay, we need to go sit and check in and tune in, because we know that sometimes your personality or your ego comes in and likes to take over. So I'll go and sit down, all excited maybe about my idea. And I'll sit down and say, okay, let's tune in about this. And then I'll get a no. No, not that. And then the little kid in me goes, oh, and I get kind of annoyed and pissed off about it. But it's really funny, because this is the kind of difference between our personality self of the ego, which is part of our human experience as well, and then the higher self, which has a 360-degree perspective on your life. It knows the bigger picture for you in your life. And so what may seem like a really awesome idea may not be the best choice at this time, or it may be something for the future. It may not be for now, but for later. So I get all these ideas and I get all these sort of visions, but actually they're not all for now. They might be for the future at some point. So it's a lot of fun, and it's also very interesting. And also it can be frustrating because sometimes there's certain things you may want to do or think are a great idea that simply are not the best choice for your life. I like to see this as your intuition like sat-nav, that you do have choice. You can choose. It's okay. If you make a choice based on ego and the personality, that is okay too. It may create a little bit more conflict in your life or challenge, but in essence, there's kind of a path for you. I don't believe that there's one clear, one only path for you, but there's a general direction in which you are being led. And if we veer off that path and go off on our ego tangent, eventually you're going to be steered back on course, or at least the universe will try to steer you back on course. So it's like sat nav. When you go off course, it will find a new path to get you back on track. So I want you to approach following your intuition in a light-hearted way. If you get heavy and serious about this, that will also block you from really tuning in. So know that you can't really make a wrong decision. There isn't a right and wrong. There are just choices that are more energetically in alignment with your path that aren't. And you'll know if you're off because you'll feel crappy, basically. That's a great way to know if you've made a choice that's out of alignment for you. So if, like for example, with food, if you eat something that's not in alignment with your body, you're going to feel bad. If you eat food that is in alignment with your body, that's what your body really wants, you're going to feel good. It's not going to leave you feeling terrible. That's a great little piece of information there to know if you've gone off course or not. So this isn't another reason or way to give yourself a hard time. I really want you to use this like a toy, a tool, something to play with, to keep light about. But what we want to do is ask. You're asking for help from the all-seeing, all-knowing part of you, your higher self, your true essence, your soul, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. And guidance from the universe, from source, from God, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. And ask to be led, to be shown. And this is about you getting out of your own way. This is about you putting your ego to one side, your personality self to one side, your busy mind to one side, and tuning into something greater. And what I know from years of experience is it's leading you to greatness. It's leading you to something beautiful. And it has your back. It has your best interests at heart. So you got to trust in it. And you learn to trust in it through experience. At first, we're going to just start with this lighthearted, playful thing to realize that it's guiding you towards making a better life for yourself. And what's interesting is you may be led and guided to do things that are challenging and difficult in the beginning, but that it might be to let go of the old, letting go of things that are no longer working for you, and also moving towards things that might terrify you. So my guidance often tells me to do stuff that is like the thing I fear the most. And what's very funny is that sometimes the thing we fear the most is the thing that will create the greatest result for our life. So, for example, I was really guided to start making videos, to start making these video blogs. It was the thing that scared me the most. And yet, I was really led to do it, so I trusted. And now it's a lot of fun for me. I really, really enjoy it. So that's just a little example. So you may be led and guided to do things that are not comfortable for you, but they're going to help create change in your life. So we get very stuck in our comfort zone, and our inner guidance may be nudging us to do something that's out of our comfort zone, and to be honest, it probably will. So just be aware of that. Be aware that it may not be comfortable at all times. So this is the practice of opening up to receiving guidance and asking to be led. If you find this difficult, if it's not super clear, ask for the guidance to be really, really clear. This is what I ask all the time, is make it super clear. Make it so that I don't have a shadow of a doubt. And then if the doubt comes in, know that that's one of your limiting thoughts and beliefs, and clear it, let it go. Ask for all the doubt to be cleared and to get super clear about the true guidance from source, from your higher self. So this is a relationship, a practice to build, of a relationship of communicating with this part of yourself that you may have ignored for a long time, or you may not have trusted. So you're rebuilding a relationship here between yourself, your higher self, and the universe. And you're starting a conversation, and you're being open to creating this dialogue. And it's a journey. It's a relationship that's always growing and changing and evolving. And for me now, it is just one of the most comforting, reassuring exchanges that I have in my life. I come back to it again and again, day after day, because this is the place where I know I really connect to the truth of my path, the truth of what's going on, to clear out the junk, to clear out the noise, the chaos and the confusion and overwhelm, and to get into alignment with what is the next best step. Because our mind, our egos, make a huge mess out of everything. They create anxiety, doubt, fear, overwhelm, panic, anger, all this confusion and chaos that blocks you from really connecting into source energy. So your intuition is always going to be calm, it's going to be clear, it's going to be simple, it's going to be straightforward. There isn't trauma and drama around your intuition. So your guidance is never going to be fear-based either. It's always going to be from love, from this sort of neutral energy, clear and calm. So trust in it. It's got your back. It loves you. And it knows what's best for you. It knows how to guide you through the jungle, so to speak, the jungle of life.